Hello everyone, my name is Apalak. A warm welcome back to another episode of Tech This Week. Today I'm going to talk about a product which has taken the world by storm. Right? I'm talking about none other than Rabbit R1. It clearly took the thunder away from all the other innovations that were put out at CES 2024. So let's dig right in and understand why is the world talking about Rabbit R1 and what are its implications. In fact, so much so, earlier this week we had Saadia Nadella comparing the launch of the Rabbit R1 AI assistant to Steve Jobs' iconic iPhone launch. I think that speaks a lot for the product, right? So the Rabbit R1 was showcased, like I said, at CES 2024, which is a compact AI assistant, shaped somewhat like a walkie-talkie, and it's priced at $199. Not very expensive. Be mindful of that. It comes equipped with a camera, a control wheel, a touchscreen, and an advanced far-field microphone technology, all operating under the ambit of Rabbit OS. So, the way I look at this, in spirit, the idea is similar to Alexa or Google Assistant. So, Rabbit OS can control your music, order you a car, buy your groceries, send you messages, and more, all through a single interface. But believe me, there's a lot more that this product can do, which is why the world is talking about it. But more about this later, right? Let us first understand what is the core philosophy behind this product. I spoke about a term called LAM, another jargon in our technology lexicon, I think you need to add in. So far, we've heard the term LLM, large language models, on which you have these generative AI platforms like ChatGPT is based on. Now we hear a term called LAM, which is nothing but large action models. So what does the term action mean in LAM here? So let's dig right in. So first, but before we do that, I think it's important that we understand how human beings have communicated over the years. If you come to think of it, the most natural form of communication is what we're doing right now, is speaking to each other, right? I think human communication has always been deeply rooted in the art of speaking. And if you see the growth of a child, what is the most natural way to communicate for a child? Does the child learn reading, writing, or speaking first? It's obviously speaking, right? Therefore, there's a reason why the most natural form of communication, ideally, is and always will be speaking. But if you look at our relationship with machines, historically, whenever we've had to communicate something to machines, it's always through prompts and text and so on and so forth, right? But we've come a long way since then. In fact, with the advent of, like I said, these generative AI platforms like ChatGPT, humans were able to, use simple text to interact with machines. That's a huge step up, right? And now we have LAM, which allows us to actually directly communicate with devices through our speech, which is the most natural way of communication that one can possibly imagine. If you come to think of it, the communication channel between us and the machine has really come a long way, right? And it's a full circle. So what exactly is LAM? I'm trying to break it down to the most simplest language. So the large action model is a sophisticated artificial intelligence system that is specifically designed to understand and execute human actions on computer applications. Therefore, the term large action model. So what it does is it understands your behavior. How do you interact with the device? What are the actions that you asked it to take, basis which it learns and starts doing it. So we may want to understand how does LAM differentiate itself from a fairly existing platform like LLM. So here it goes. Fundamentally, when you talk about large language models, they excel at providing information, suggestions and language-based tasks, which are prompt-based. LAM actually takes a step one step further by not just understanding what you want to execute, but does the task for you. So, for instance, I'll give you two examples here. For instance, you're planning a vacation, right? Planning a vacation. If you ask, say, ChatGPT, hey, you know what? I want to plan the next weekend, which is a long weekend coming up. Can you help me do that? So they'll say, yeah, you know what? You're based out of Delhi. There are some of the places you can go, and kind of it helps you plan a trip for you. What LAM does, a large action model, is it not only will help you doing that, devising you the plan, it will also help you in booking. So, for instance, if you're flying out to a particular place, it will do the ticketing. If you're checking into a hotel, it will do the hotel bookings for you. So that's the leap that we're talking about, right? And it's a significant leap, as we can see. To conclude, obviously, when we think about the implications, does it mean that the Rabbit R1 or the likes of Rabbit R1 kind of product, will it replace a smartphone? Unlikely soon. But having said so, does it augur a redefined way of how we look at smartphones? Certainly, yes. I definitely see products like Rabbit R1 reshaping how we interact with smart devices and smartphones in particular. More importantly, when we look at the classic definition of smartphone, we always have this concept of there's an app for everything. Now, when you talk about LAM or product like Rabbit R1, it completely changes that. You don't need an app for anything. All you need to do is give a speech prompt, right? So with this, will this change the entire ecosystem that has been fostered all this while? Will it help change with the big giants like Apple and Samsung? How will they differentiate when they have this, for instance, flagship product launch? For instance, Samsung S24, which was recently launched. It is touted to be a fully AI-driven device, but still under the contours of classic design scheme. With Rabbit R1 taking center stage going forward and its successors, right? Do we see a shift in smartphone devices, design cues? That's something that is a lot to see, a lot to look at. I'm sure there's a lot we'll be speaking about this in years to come. That's it from my end. Thanks for listening. Bye.